The sky doesn't give warnings. One moment, the aircraft is stable cutting clean through the darkness at supersonic speed. The next, something changes. A tone, sharp, aggressive. Then another, inside the cockpit. The air shifts instantly. Calm turns into urgency. Systems begin to scream. Radar lock, missile threat. There is no time to confirm. No time to question. Only instinct. Brake right now. The jet rolls hard, pulling violent G-forces as countermeasures burst into the night behind it. Flares scatter like fire across the sky, but it's already too late. The impact doesn't come with an explosion. It comes with force. A hit, metal tears. Systems collapse. Control vanishes. For a fraction of a second, everything slows. Then eject. The canopy detonates. The seats fire, and two men are violently ripped out of the aircraft. Into open sky, silence follows. No engines, no control, just gravity. Pulling them down into hostile territory, and before they even hit the ground, the hunt has already begun. The descent is brutal. Wind slams against the body at terminal speed. The parachute deploys, but not gently. It jerks the spine with enough force to disorient even trained aircrew. Pain follows instantly. Breathing becomes uneven. Vision sharpens, then blurs. The world below comes into focus far too quickly. Mountains, dark, jagged, endless, no lights. No safety, just terrain that doesn't forgive mistakes. The pilot struggles to stabilize his descent. His training cuts through. The chaos: control your body, orient yourself, scan the ground. But something feels wrong. Too exposed, too visible. The sky above is no longer empty. The burning wreckage of the aircraft paints a trail across the darkness, marking exactly where they came from, and where they're going. He knows what that means. Anyone within miles will see it. Anyone listening. Welcome. The ground hits harder than expected. Impact shoots through his legs and spine. He collapses instinctively, rolling to absorb the force. Pain flares, but nothing feels broken. Not yet. There's no time to check thoroughly. He cuts the parachute immediately, dragging it into nearby brush, hiding the bright fabric before it becomes a signal. Every second matters now, because he is no longer a pilot, he is a target. The announcement spreads before the dust settles. It moves through television broadcasts, radio channels, and encrypted messaging groups with relentless speed. Clear, direct, repeated. A reward has been issued, not for information, not for equipment, for a man alive. The number is large enough to matter life-changing in regions where survival is already a daily struggle. And it works instantly. The effect is not subtle. It is explosive. Villages that once lived quietly begin to shift. Conversations change. Eyes sharpen. Movement increases. Farmers become watchers. Drivers become informants. Shepherds. Scanning hillsides are no longer just tending livestock. They are searching. The terrain itself transforms. Every road becomes a checkpoint. Every village becomes a surveillance node. Every human presence becomes a potential threat. This is no longer controlled. This is no longer military. This is something else entirely. A manhunt driven not just by orders, but by incentive. And somewhere in those mountains, one pilot begins to understand something far more dangerous than enemy soldiers. He is not hiding from an army. He is hiding from everyone. Pain settles slowly, not all at once, but enough to remind him that his body has taken a hit. He forces himself to stay focused, check limbs, check breathing, check awareness, functional. That's enough. The crash site is nearby. He can smell it before he sees it: burning fuel, carried through the wind. That alone is a problem. Fire attracts attention. And attention is death. He moves, not fast, not recklessly, deliberately, every step placed with purpose. The terrain offers both protection and danger. Rocks provide cover, but they also slow movement. Vegetation hides but leaves signs behind, tracks, disturbance, evidence. He avoids open ground instinctively, stays low, uses shadows, breaks his silhouette against uneven terrain. The training takes over completely. Now, stay hidden, stay unpredictable, stay alive. But there's something else pressing in. Sound distant at first. Then, clearer vehicles, voices, movements spreading across. The landscape they are already searching. And worse, they don't know exactly where he is, which means they will search everywhere, far above the chaos. Something else begins. Structured, controlled, relentless. The moment the distress signal registers. Systems activate across multiple layers of command. Coordinates are extracted. Drift. Patterns calculated. Landing zones estimated within minutes. Aircraft are being prepared. This is not improvisation. This is doctrine. Combat search and rescue exists. For one reason, to bring people back from places they were never meant to survive. Pilots move fast. Crews move faster. Helicopters are armed, fueled, and launched with precision timing. Surveillance assets begin scanning terrain patterns. TAC aircraft position themselves nearby not to strike, but to protect. Everything converges toward a single point. But this isn't friendly airspace. Every mile forward increases exposure. Radar, systems, surface-to-air threats, unknown variables. Still they go, because there is a principle that overrides risk. If one goes down, others go in. The mountains change. What was once empty becomes active. Search teams move systematically, valleys first, then ridge lines, then everything in between. Checkpoints appear without warning. Roads narrow into controlled paths. Movement becomes monitored. But the real danger isn't uniformed. It's scattered, unpredictable. Civilian eyes watching from distance. Movement reported through phones, radios. Whispers. Every direction becomes uncertain. Above, aircraft circle carefully, too high to be seen clearly, too cautious to engage blindly. Below, the search tightens. Two forces moving toward the same objective. One coordinated, one chaotic, both dangerous, and between them, a single man trying to disappear. Night becomes everything. Daylight is exposure. Movement slows to near stillness when the sun rises. Heat, visibility, and risk increase together, so he waits. Hidden, silent, breathing controlled. Time stretches in uncomfortable ways. Minutes feel longer. Hours feel heavy. Water becomes critical. Energy must be preserved. Every decision matters, but the real battle is internal. Sound plays tricks. Wind through trees mimics footsteps. Distant engines feel closer than they are. Silence feels wrong, too quiet, too empty. The mind tries to fill gaps. That's dangerous. He pushes it back. Focus, discipline, survival. Survival is not movement. It is patience, and then a sound breaks through everything else. Faint, rhythmic, rotors far away, but real. Rescue isn't clean. It never is. One aircraft takes fire. Another is forced to divert. A pilot ejects over water after sustaining damage. Every attempt carries consequences. Helicopters flying low become vulnerable to small arms fire. Even basic weapons become lethal when aircraft slow down. Extraction requires precision. Hovering in hostile territory is exposure. Seconds feel longer. Risks multiply. Command centers track everything in real time. Fuel levels, enemy movement, flight paths. Everything is calculated, but nothing is guaranteed, because the battlefield doesn't pause for rescue. it adapts. Still, the mission continues. Because this is not optional. It is a promise. The moment arrives, suddenly coordinates tighten. Signals confirm. He's close. Helicopters descend low, hugging terrain using the mountains as cover. Speed drops. Risk rises. This is the most dangerous phase. Below, movement is increasing. Search teams are closing in. Above, time is collapsing. The pilot hears it, now loud. Unmistakable. He has a choice. Stay hidden or move. He moves, breaking cover for the first time, exposed, visible, trusting that what he hears is not danger, but rescue. The helicopters. Commit dust erupts as they descend. Guns ready, eyes scanning seconds. Stretch into something unbearable. Then dash contact, and then knits over. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. The kind of quiet that follows survival. The helicopters lift away, disappearing into darkness just as quickly as they arrived. Below, search continues, but without purpose now. Above, the mission shifts from rescue to return. Inside the aircraft, there are no celebrations, only silence. Controlled breathing. The slow realization of what just happened. Somewhere far away. A phone rings. A voice delivers news that changes everything alive. Safe coming. Home relief doesn't explode. It settles, deep, heavy, real, because survival in war is never guaranteed, but sometimes against odds that don't make sense. It happens because of systems, because of training, because of people willing to go back into danger. For one man, for one promise, and that promise remains unchanged. No one is left behind.